Hey guys, XJ9 here, and today is going to be a patch 11.18 notes. I honestly didn't really look at what this stuff is, so kind of going to be a surprise. So I guess we'll just get right into this, make it fast. Let's go. Okay, Aphelios, base attack damage was 57, now it's 55, so minus 280. I guess he was just a tiny bit too strong, so they want to hit all stages of his game. He was just too strong because of those buffs. Nothing really to say there, honestly. Oh well, I guess he was just too strong. Ash, cooldown. 14 to it was 14 to 4 seconds on his W or her W. Now it's 18 to 4 seconds. So in general, yeah, before it used to go down 2.5 in cooldown. Now it's gonna be 3.5. Yeah, now it's gonna be 3.5 in cooldown. Um, well, wait, what? Wait, no, that was terrible. It used to go in at 2.5. Now it's going to be 3.5 a cooldown because it's 18 seconds. So pretty much early game, she won't be as annoying, which is quite a big nerf. I guess Ash was strong. I guess she was just being played because of her, I don't know, good stun on AD carry, I guess. Um, Camille, cooldown her passive was 16 to 10 seconds at levels 1, 7, and 13. Now it's 20 to 10 seconds at levels 1, 7, 13. Um, That's a slight nerf. I guess it's more considerable until she is level 17. Probably just coming up too fast for trading patterns. And they nerfed all other top laners, so I guess that's probably why. So nothing really to say there. Nerfs are fine. Draven, passive. Draven's Adoration stack count updates will not be displayed in all chat, not just team chat. Uh, if our Whirling Death, if Whirling Death drops an enemy's health to two or below Draven's current Adoration stacks, it executes them. This is an absolutely insane buff. Actually, this also highly benefits playing passive in lane instead of trying to go crazy and kill in lane. Because Draven's like, oh yeah, you want to get those kills. You want to. It's kind of strange because it's Draven's the champion where you want to snowball because you want to get to your stacks, but it's like even if you don't get your stacks and don't die, it makes your R do more damage, which is kind of funny. So it's kind of like a ticking time bomb essentially. So yeah, that's really strong. The other strong part is that they can, if say it has 500 torsion stacks and you're 600 HP and it hits you, the R, you're just dead. It doesn't even hit you again. Some executes like Elder Dragon. It needs to or was it Collector? I think it's even both. I think it's Elder Dragon and Collector. Um, it needs to hit you after you're already below the threshold. The fact that it's the threshold or below, and the hit that triggers it will kill you is actually absolutely huge. This might actually be an overbuff, and Draven might be like absolutely overpowered because of this. It's kind of like this is a massive buff. He lose, sorry, he loses absolutely nothing. Like it's not like he's trading off. This is just a flat out buff to Draven. It's just a new mechanic being added to Draven, a new passive, buff five. So yeah, they've I don't know. That's kind of crazy. He's probably overpowered top 380 carry probably honestly. Doctor Mundo, it's gonna be very interesting. Oh yeah, I think I remember some of this stuff. So Q. Bonesaw. Maximum damage to monsters was 300 to 500. Now it's 350 to 650. This is quite huge, especially later on in the game or I would even say early on in the game. It just makes his clear even better, makes him killing objectives better. Uh, that's just kind of they're just making for the fact that he doesn't have his raw AD he used to have on his E. And I mean, Muno Jungle was already really strong. It was the fastest jungle clear in the game. There's not enough people are playing it. Mostly probably because it's a skill shot reliant champion and it's a tank and it's a weird type of tank where it doesn't have a dash. So our maximum dosage updated on cast immediately grants 15, 20, 25% of missing HP as bonus HP for 10 seconds. So before it was heals 20% of missing HP. So now you get 15 to 20 to 25% of missing HP. So this is how I read this is it's going to be similar to like Gnar, where or even Lulu, where it's not a heal, you just gain the HP. So that's actually huge because it means because usually you want to bait people with Mundo and be super low. I remember I was playing before and people were like, "Oh, why are you ulting so low?" Blah blah blah. But it's like, well, if you read the passive, you're supposed to ult low. But it's kind of hard when the Grievous Moon exists and massive burst damage exists. So it was very hard to get value out of this. So now this is actually tremendous value. The fact that it only heals 50% missing HP early on. You can actually look to see that as a nerf just because most people will probably not have Grievous Wounds at that point. But if they do have Grievous Wounds, it's probably going to heal more or about the same as the 20% missing HP. Well, it just depends on when you know actually use it. Well, actually, if you have Grievous Wounds, it would just be less. So yeah, if they have Grievous Wounds, it's a buff. If they don't, it's a slight nerf. Um, but at level 6 and well, level 2 of the ultimate and level 3 of the ultimate, this is a flat out buff. At level 3, Mundo ultimate is really crazy with the 25% because you cannot reduce that. Updated, uh, Healify, which is the passive healing, it was 20 to 7%. Now it's 20 to 60% max HP over 10 seconds. Again, this isn't that big of a deal. Again, the healing over time at levels 1 and 2 of the ultimate sprint is the same. They had to slightly nerf the level 3 ultimate though. But the thing is that it's made up because of the fact that it's not the initial heal isn't reduced and also it's increased. So overall, it's a huge buff. A lot of times, the healing you get afterwards, like you're usually like full HP Mundo and you're getting healed, and like it doesn't really matter. So like again, overall, this is a ginormous buff to Mundo. He's probably gonna be a lot harder to burst. This is a so I would definitely give Mundo another shot because this pretty much solves this issue of getting bursted down quite a lot because Grievous Wounds are so prominent. They're pretty much making anti-Grievous Wounds, essentially like building around Grievous Wounds now. Fizz passive Nimble Fighter. Damage reduction versus base attacks was 4 plus 1% ability power. Now it's 8 to plus 2 ability power. Damage reduction versus other sources unchanged. Uh, that's pretty strong against basic attacks, but apparently it's only basic attacks, not like abilities and stuff. So I guess that's just more so for lane. It's it doesn't really do a whole lot later in the game unless you're versing some attack speed champion. But that pretty much just makes his laning a lot easier in general. He can't really get harassed, which is kind of funny. Uh, W sees Stone Trident on hit damage was 10 to 30 plus 35% ability power. Now it's 20 to 40 plus 35% ability power. Just a flat out buff. That's kind of crazy. Honestly, it's literally a double damage buff at level 1. Not sure if he maxes it or not, but regardless of level 1, it's double damage pretty much. Even level 2, it's pretty much double damage. Arch from the waters. What? I don't know. What? Guppy damage. Okay, whatever. Guppy damage. I'm pretty sure Guppy, Chomper, and Gigalodon is short range, medium range, and long range. This is silly names, honestly. So short range is 10. Was 150 to 350 plus 80% ability power. Now it's 150 to 300 plus 70% ability power. So level 1 ultimate is pretty much the same. Yeah, it uses 10 ability power, but you probably won't have much ability power anyway, so it's a slight nerf that does like 10, 15 damage. Doesn't really matter. Level 2 ultimate, again, kind of the same thing. You'd probably lose about, I don't know, 50 damage about. And level 3 ultimate is, well, yeah, as it goes on, it gets worse. It's probably about, I don't know, 100, 150 plus damage. So short range, levels 2 and 3 got nerfed. Medium Chomper was 225 to 240, 2425 plus 100% ability power. Now it's 200 to 350 plus 85% ability power. So ability power ratio nerf, slight damage nerf as well. Well, the medium damage actually got ginormously nerfed. Jeez, like at level 1 you lose 25 damage flat. The ability power ratios is, yeah. So it's pretty much just overall it's pretty much less damage. Like this is pretty much just double of the previous, pretty much. Um, and the Gigalodon damage, a large, long range chum the waters was 300 to 500 damage plus 128% ability power. Now it's 250 to 400 plus 100% ability power. That's a big nerf. Overall, they probably just want to lower his burst damage because I think if you just get hit with their ult, you're just dead. So that's kind of nice that they actually nerfed his ult because his ult was actually insanely overtuned. So the fact that they nerfed this, they're trying to encourage him, I think, to this like fight more. Tank Fizz might come back though, just because of this though, which is kind of annoying. So I don't know. We'll see about that. And also because of the damage reduction thing. We'll see though. I'm not sure. I guess the goal here was to have better laning, encourage a little bit more fighting, and getting rid of him just being a one-shot cannon snowball guy. I guess. Gangplank health was 540, now it's 570. Health growth was 82, now it's 90. Overall, these changes, well, it actually helps his oranges a lot because it's based on missing HP. And I think it's overall just make people adjust better to playing Gangplank. Health changes in general tend to be just uh, just be able to play. I mean, again, it's a big buff, but probably a buff because people are still getting used to Gangplank. If Gangplank was released like in a different like if the changes they did to Gangplank in the previous patch was so different that like it actually hurt them, then these changes are fine. But like right now, people are still adjusting, so they're just giving him HP, which just helps him adjust better. And if he does turn out to be too overpowered for whatever reason, they can just adjust something else later. He's also a melee, so it's kind of whatever. He's not ranged like Nidalee, so I'm actually fine with the HP buff, unlike Nidalee, who did not need an HP buff, by the way. Jace, passive Hextech Capacitor, bonus move speed and ghost duration was 1.25 seconds, now it's 0.75 seconds. That's quite a big nerf, because that's just huge. Uh, you just pretty much he lost more mobility, can't get out. That's kind of crazy. Um, I guess he was just split pushing too hard. Jinx, uh, Q, switcheroo, Fishbone's mana cost was 20, now it's 16 to 20. That's a very slight buff overall. It's going to be pretty nice for lane though, since she does want to spam her rockets line lane. So that's quite a big buff. I think Jinx also got slightly nerfed as well. So that's nice. This is fine as well. Encourages her to be a bit more aggressive. E supercharging Kaisa cooldown was 16 to 12, now 16 to 10. Just making her scale better in the mid game, pretty much. So that's nice, I guess. That's fine. Callista knockup duration or Fate's Call was 1.5 to 2 seconds. Now it's 1 to 2 seconds. So early game and mid game is slightly nerfed. Early game is probably huge because I think early game she just dominates, and now it's gonna be well, not as all any, not as combo like. So pretty much this weakens her early and mid game. It keeps her late game intact. It's just I think she just becomes oppressive in high level play in early game. So that's a big nerf. Uh, Karma base armor was 26, now it's 28. Base shield was 80 to 260, now it's 90 to 270. So they buffed her again. I don't know what they touch Karma a lot, but I don't know what the heck their changes are, or their goals are. Karma changes in 11.16 were effective, reducing her dominance in pro play while avoiding major nerfs to her and everywhere else. Since she's been on the weaker side overall, we're upping her win rate across the board with some generic approach. She really does always catch up. Huh? I don't know what the goal of these are, but whatever, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand what they're doing with Karma. Karma's kind of a weird champion. E Voidoo's damage was 75 to 255. Now it's 75 to 255 plus 70% ability power. They upped his AP ratio on that by from 50% to 70%. I guess they just want AP Cogma more to make it more viable. That's also kind of big because what was his CSing power, so that's kind of a big buff honestly. So you might see AP Cogma honestly. Lee Sin base attack damage was 70, now it's 68. Yeah, he got ridiculously buffed before, and again, Lee's never been weak. Honestly, he really hasn't. So 70 AD is so much too. Jesus. Um, that just hurts him at all points in the game. He also has insane AD ratios, so 280 nerf on him is actually quite huge. So that's nice. Also, yeah, picked a ban 100% of the time. Yeah, again, I really just don't like when people act like, oh, he falls off late game. Like, dude, there's no late game in League anymore, so I don't know what you're talking about. Lillia, base stats health regen was 1.5, now it's 0.5. Now health regen growth was 0.75, now it's 0.55. So overall, her health regen is lower. That's probably because she's being played in top lane and it's toxic. Um, her passives being changed. Healing against large monsters was 18 to 94 based on level. Now it's 27 to 104 based on level. Again, just encourage you to be playing jungle, not lane, top lane, because she's supposed to be a jungler. Passive stock duration on a Q was 5.5 seconds, now it's 6.5 seconds. That's actually insane. A whole second longer on the stacks. It helps traverse through, especially early game, because since she's slower, you would lose your stacks. So when you're doing early game clears and stuff or low AP, you probably won't lose your stacks in between clears, which is quite huge. And when you have that ginormous amount of AP, it just makes you that much more slippery. So that's kind of insane. Swirl Seed cooldown was 18, now it's 16 seconds. It's kind of funny because they're actually slightly reverting the nerfs they did to Swirl Seed with the cooldown. Um, for instance, let's go to Lillia, the wiki, and look at her patch history. Let's get the exact number on her Swirl Seed. Her seed was, where is it going? So okay, so before, yeah, so it was 12 seconds flat before, and it it got increased to 18, and they also increase the damage that you get from ranking it up as well. So again, this is actually this is a huge buff in general because she got a lot of extra power because they nerfed this E. Because in pro play, they were saying like, oh, she's being picked simply, and just like they just cast her E and see if it hits someone. But the fact that they perverted it from because it was from 12 seconds to 18 seconds, now it's back to 16 seconds. That's quite big, just because well she's now has that more of that potential to pick off someone, and uh, and on top of that she got all these massive generic buffs. So right now she's closer to what her previous state was minus ultimate, but yeah she can just catch people better slash fight people better, so that's quite huge. Also the Lillia skin came out. So remember, if you go back like one or two patches ago, I was like, oh yeah, Lillia's getting a skin soon. That's why they're doing these changes. So yeah, she got a skin. The same. Misfortune. Our bullet time total waves was 12 to 16. Now it's 14 to 18. Uh, Quite a big buff overall. Two more. I'm not sure how much damage they do, but regardless, that's a lot of damage. Regardless, so I'm not sure if the total duration is the same. I think the duration is the same. It might just come out faster. I'm not quite sure. Um, Not sure. I don't know if this actually influences the time or not. It might just be the speed. It might even just be. I actually might be time as well. I'm not quite sure. But regardless, it's a good buff. If it's the same time too, that's also a big buff as well. Brigana E cooldown decreased. Cooldown was 26 to 18 seconds. Now it's 24 to 16. Very small minor buff. It's also a utility spell. I think this because they've nerfed her before. And again, this is more of a support buff than like jungle or mid lane or whatever. Kiana base attack speed was 0.625, now it's 0.688, quite a big buff. I think that's what she had before in release. Health regen was 1.8, now it's 1.5, slight health regen nerf. Q new now does 25% bonus damage against monsters. So I guess they want her to be jungle, even though they said they didn't want her to be in jungle. So again, Riot, it's kind of strange where it's like you don't want X champ to be in jungle, but then you rebuff them to be playing jungle. It's like, how about you just let things be? Like, I really liked playing Camille jungle, but you nerfed the hell out of it, you know? So I don't know. It's kind of like weird how it's like, well, now you're encouraging a jungler that has a point and click, never miss route in the game. Like, is that really so much different from Camille? I don't know. Updated, if Kiana's target begins a dash or teleport during her EQ buffer, Q will aim at their last position before dashing teleporting. If Kiana's target begins a dash. So if and then let's read the next thing. If Kiana has an EQ buffer but does not have vision of her target when the cast completes, Q will aim to the last position. Okay, so see, so they're allowing. Okay, so this is why they're allowing their jungle. They're allowing their jungle by getting rid of this atrocious combo where you cannot get away. So pretty much dashes will actually help because before you could cloak, you could get out of vision, you could dash, and it would always hit you. So they're pretty much making it so that it can actually miss you now. So this is the only reason they're making your jungle. Again, I kind of wish they did something with Camille where I don't know. I mean, they nerfed her ultimate so much and everything. It's kind of like I don't know, and you have to hit someone with your E as well. So like even if she closes a lot of distance, it's like I don't know. I feel like they should just make Camilla jungle again, but whatever. That's so that's interesting. Overall, they're trying to make Kiana play in jungle more. Maybe I'll play her. That's kind of interesting. It's more of a fair way too, instead of being some cheesy pick. Base damage on her E was 60 to 180. Now it's 50 to 170. Who knows if people will even play her, because I feel like a lot of the gimmick of Kiana was actually this, which is kind of funny. because a lot of people got high elo with her back in the jungle just because it was so gimmicky and so foolproof. Renekton, Ruthless Spider, Empower Stun duration on the W was 1.5. Now it's 1 second. Empowered Self Lockout duration was 0.75 seconds. Now it's 0.52. It's just the match, the W adjustment. Now it's matches the normal W. So, um, he just, yeah, he has less lockup, which is kind of big because it means that he can't flash stun as effectively. Also means like things like Murktide also counter him even more so, and or tenacity. So flash stun plays are harder to get on Recton. He's supposed to be a fighter, not a playmaker. So they're pretty much nerfing the fact that his flash stun combo by giving you more time to react and like counter. So that's actually a kind of huge nerf to him. Yeah, he doesn't lock himself as much, but the stun duration is huge. So hopefully we stop seeing Recton so much. Rumble overheat attack speed was 50%. Now it's 20 to 80% based on level. W scrap shield was 7 to 6 seconds. Now it's 6 seconds. So they buffed the scrap shield. That's not the biggest change. They probably it's kind of that's a big buff to his attack speed later, but that's a big nerf to his early game jungle, I believe. So they're trying to nerf his early jungle. So I don't know. I hate Rumble jungle. Bye. I don't know. This is a dumb pick. People are just trendy, man. Singed or Insanity Potion. Singed now applies Grievous wounds on targets upon dealing any damage during Insanity Potion's duration. So any damage, so it can be autos, it can be his Q, it can be his E. So that's quite huge again. Again, this is a ginormous buff. He pretty much does not, because Singed will only fight you when he has his ultimate, and he usually doesn't fight. He just minuses all his business. So he doesn't even need to build Morellos. Because people, I think, if they built the correct items, they could just drain tank Singed and he couldn't even do anything. So now he has built-in Grievous wounds. Where's Vi's built-in Grievous wounds? You know, like Vi could use a new passive. Like Singe literally just got a big buff. He loses nothing. He just gained. He literally gained Grievous wounds for free. He didn't lose anything. And then people. Oh, and I could make the argument. Oh yeah, Singe was okay. Singe doesn't need a buff. Okay, well they buffed him. Okay. Oh, Vi's okay. Vi doesn't need buff. Buff Vi. Okay. Soraka. Our wish clears grievous wounds on allies before applying the heal. That's huge because on top of the heal, which is full value, it sometimes someone on the team might have grievous wounds, and then so someone on your team might have grievous wounds, on the enemy team might have grievous wounds. They might die or leave the fight, but their grievous wounds on them. So if the Straka uses the R and that person doesn't reapply the grievous wounds, that's a lot of value from the R. I also believe if you, Straka actually kind of counters Ignite now because since it removes the grievous wounds. Because I believe if she ults, it'll clear the grievous wounds from Ignite. So Ignite isn't a hard counter to Grievous Wounds anymore if Soraka's in the game. So it pretty much forces people to build Grievous Wound items. Because sometimes if you ever watched pro play, one thing I noticed was the support would take Ignite, and because of this, no one on the team would have to build Grievous Wounds. The only time they would ever fight is when they have Ignite, and the one Drain Tank guy would just get ignited every fight, and they would only fight when Ignite's up, which effectively meant that they could never fight. They didn't need to build Grievous Wounds. So if they have a Soraka in the team, though, they can Ignite, but then the Soraka can immediately cleanse it, and then you're kind of screwed. So that's a ginormous buff to Soraka. Soraka's definitely really good right now, like really good. So yeah, play Soraka if you play support. Talia, Q, Threaded Volley. New Skipping Stones casting Threaded Volley on Work Ground now refunds 50% of the spell's cooldown. So on top of being free, it's now 50% of the spell's cooldown. So that's quite nice. I think it's just to help lane. It's not so much a jungle change, more so the whatchamacallit, lane. Work ground radius was 450, now 300, so now you have more space to actually put. Again, there's more of a lane buff. Work ground duration was 45 seconds, now 25 seconds. Again, a lane buff. I think I'll definitely see lane Talia now. So, excuse me. So yeah, that's exciting, I guess. Kind of a neglected champion, I guess. I don't know. I think she's been fine though, especially in the jungle. Talon Q base damage was 65 to 165. Now it's 65 to 145. So it's a 5 damage nerf at all per level. So he'll only gain 20 instead of 25 damage a rank. W Rake now deals 50% bonus damage with monsters. Let's see what Ryan has to say about this. Uh, we're attempting to introduce some new assassin options in jungle meta. Talon's got a clear advantage with his high mobility E, so increases clear speed should make him a reasonable option in the role. Talon is also getting Talon is getting powerful. So yeah, I'm not sure how Talon jungle would go. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to judge Talon because Talon players are atrociously bad. So or atrociously bad. So yeah, maybe I'll test that sometime. I have no idea how that is though. So we'll see. 50% is a lot though. Thresh. Movement speed was 335, now it's 330, so slight nerf. That's also a big nerf in general because he's a movement-based champion with hooks, with his flay, with his lantern, with even his ultimate, and just getting away in general, and warding because he's a support. E maximum passive bonus damage was 100 to 200% attack damage plus 1 soul. Now it's 80 to 200% attack damage plus 1.5 per soul. So as you rank it up, it'll pretty much go back to normal. He lost, yeah, he lost some early damage base, but they're pretty much just trying to encourage him to collect souls more because people neglect souls a lot, and people neglect souls so much to the point where it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure why they don't collect them because armor is really nice, you know. So yeah, that's kind of nice. I like things like that. So that's fine. Uh, Trundle E Pillar of Ice was 32 to 60% slow. Now it's 30 to 46% slow. So it gets nerfs as you level it up, especially if people like max to second or I maybe even first. It depends on what role they're playing. It's more of, I think this is a it's the it might it's definitely I think support might even max it. I'm not even quite sure. I don't know honestly, but regardless, it's really a earlier mid game nerf, so that's quite huge. Twitch bonus attack damage on his R was 30 to 60. Now it's 40 to 70. So that's quite a big buff. He got 10 damage at all ranks now. More bonus attack damage. Just try and encourage his AD build. Even people build AP though, they still get bonus AD, but they're getting 80 skills with crit. So I guess that's the goal. Urgot Q cooldown, mana cost reduced. Q cooldown was 12 to 8 seconds, now it's 10 to 8 seconds, so quite big early game. Mana cost was 80, now it's 70. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure why people don't play Urgot. Urgot's very strong, very easy to play. He's strong in jungle, he's strong in top. I don't know why people don't play him honestly. Varus attack damage was 61, now it's 59. Guys, he was too strong. Again, there's another champion with high AD ratio, so the nerf is actually quite huge. Passive bonus attack speed on non-champ kills was 20%. Now it's 10 to 20% at levels 1, 7, 13. Guess it was just making him trade too easily. Like you would get a minion kill and like trade too effectively, or being just pushes too fast. Yon, Spirit Cleave, shielding per target champion hit after the first 25% of base, now it's 50% of base. This is trying to encourage Yon to go really crazy inside like the team fight or just start a fight. So, but there's also shield reduction, so it might be because of the shield reduction because he builds shield bow and then he has a shield passive. So they might be buffing this simply because people are hard countering because of that lethality item. But regardless, it's only if he hits more than one target. So it is quite a big buff though, but it's kind of encouraging to build that lethality item. Um, Despite its use of power and average play, Yun falls behind at higher skill bands rather than direct buffing his one assassination potential. Um, yeah, because he's I don't know. Let's see how this goes. I mean, yeah, he doesn't improve his 1v1 or anything. Doesn't improve his like I don't know, even getting away from ganks is actually kind of big. Yumi passive cooldown decrease. Cooldown was 18 to 6 seconds. Now it's 14 to 6. That's quite big in general. Uh, that's gonna help with a lot of. Yeah, this is actually a big buff. Cause I played Yumi a bit, and this, well, because I'll be honest, the long cooldown was sometimes awkward, and sometimes like I wish my passive was up. So now Yumi will just be more annoying, give more shields and more mana. The shield's really annoying. Zed, pass damage now. Oh, let's see. New Zed passive now deals 100% bonus damage against monsters. Steel capped at 300 against against the epic monsters. So um, it had no cooldown before, and they were gonna do this before, but they didn't want to do it. I guess they want to take their time. So that's quite huge as well. This Zed jungle is probably definitely very strong now. He can definitely jungle like I think when Raptors are half HP, he can just one shot each one. So that's quite big. Maybe Zed jungle is definitely very viable right now. So E cooldown decrease. E Sleepy Trouble Bubble was 20 to 14 seconds. Now it's 16 to 12 seconds. That's quite a generous buff, especially early game. And I don't know if she maxes that second or third or not, but I think I might be her last max. Honestly, I forget. I barely played her. But regardless, that's a big buff to her lane. Like, cause 20-second cooldown. If you use it, it's like you're not threatening for 20 seconds. Now it's 16 seconds, so it's quite big. Uh, Turret cleave on Remus Hydra. Remus Hydra no longer cleaves. Same thing with Titanic Hydra. It doesn't cleave. Well, they don't cleave on towers anymore. It's to make people actually push towers. Because I think sometimes people would bias and then they can't actually attack the tower because of the cleave. So I actually agree with this. This is a very nice change overall. Armor Glaive. You don't want to cleave. You generally don't want to cleave on the tower. Umbral Glaive was 2,600 gold. Now it's 2,400. Lethality was reduced by 2 from 12 to 10. Overall, this is probably a net neutral gain. So yeah, they're just trying to make it more of a support item for. This is more of again a support item or a cheap item if you're behind and need to get vision. So I guess that's fine. It's a very strong item in general. Predator move speed ramp up time was 1.5 seconds. Now it's 1 second. Now maximum speed was 45%. Now 60%. Um, so yeah, this is a kind of big buff. It's also a big buff to Fiddlesticks because Fiddlesticks is also very strong right now. So Fiddlesticks is definitely going to be played hopefully more. Again, I don't know why people don't play Fiddlesticks more. This is a ginormous buff to Fiddlesticks. So yeah, I don't know. If you want to play Fiddlesticks, you'll go play him, I guess. What else? I think that's really it. Oh, what was that? We turned off the web match history site on September 7th. Um, oh, that's interesting. I don't know they had one, I think. Quinn's base voice lines, bug fixes. Quinn's base voice lines have been remastered to sound clearer, cleaner, and smoother. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Vehicle can no longer access Oran's passive, living forge and forge items while possessing them. Fix the bug where breaking a spell shield at auction would interrupt his E heroic swing. Fix the bug where auction was unable to cancel E heroic swing while being silenced. Fix the bug where Dr. Mundo would ignore all subsequent CC from a dragon or herald after it broke his passive. Goes where he pleases spell shield once. Feel the bug Samira Q did not apply life steal when cast during E while rush. Fix the bug where Kamel's E hookshot would get cancelled upon using any consumables. Fix the bug where Shen's passive key barrier shield would break when hit by a base attack while standing in W. Spirit's refuge's zone. Fix the bug where buffing an ally with Sona's Melody Aura from Q. Heimer Valor did not grant her a mana charge stack of Tear to the Goddess. Okay. Fix the bug where Sona's Q would incorrectly grant a stack of Excendrando, whatever, even if negated by a spell shield. Updated Singe's W Mega Adhesive Tooltip to include its slow percentage. Fixed Lucian R the Cooling Tooltip so that no longer states dealing bonus damage to monsters. That's strange. Updated Echo's passive Z Drive Resonance Tooltip to include the additional damage dealt against jungle monsters. Updated Soraka's E Equinox Tooltip to state that it deals damage to enemy champions only. Upcoming skins, Viego. I guess they actually didn't end up nerfing Viego because I think people were arguing about that. How, or no, did Viego get nerfed? I think he did get nerfed. I think wasn't that last patch? I think it was last patch. I think he did. I'm just losing track of time. Yeah, I know he did get nerfed. Oh my bad, he did get nerfed. Yeah, sorry, time goes really fast, guys. Like no joke. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it, guys. I mean, not really that eventful thing. I mean, Counter Jungle is probably okay. We'll see how that goes. Talon Jungle might be good. Jet Jungle is definitely good. Singe is strong as hell. Soraka's strong as hell. And yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. We know Jungle's also really good. Oh yeah, Draven's a OP as hell too. Yeah. you enjoyed, leave a comment. Bye.